Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees, and today's video I want to talk about resources for your bees and what your bees need, and how to be very observant in what your bees are doing at certain times of the day. For example, your bees may be bringing pollen in early in the morning, and then when you look at night after you get off of work at 5-6 o'clock and look, you think, well, my bees aren't bringing in any pollen. Keep in mind that bees do things at certain times of the day when the flowers are more abundant to produce pollen. So whatever they're working on may be early in the morning. A lot of times it is like that. You can see a little bit of pollen come in right here with these bees, and if you watch this, I'm gonna block their entrance right here. And these bees are very patient, very gentle, and as you see, they're just, when I look behind me, they're piling up behind me, waiting on me to move. And then when I move, they'll come right in. They're very patient, very gentle, cooperative bees, and you'll be able to see a bunch more of them coming in at one time. You can see the pollen. So when I get ready to move here, watch them start coming in. Pretty heavy. Okay, I'm gonna move. Now watch them come in right here. You'll see them. Here they come. Here they come rolling in. I block the entrance, so they just sit there and wait on you. Wait on you and move to the side. There's a lot of pollen coming in right here. They're a very good, very gentle bee. There's no doubt about it, and it's a pleasure working with these bees. But my point is about keep an eye, not just once a day. You need to come down 2-3 times a day at different times of the day and watch and see what your bees are doing. Because just because you looked at 6 o'clock when you got off of work doesn't mean that they're not bringing pollen in. Doesn't mean you need to start feeding them pollen. So from what I can see right here, there's definitely, they don't need pollen because they're bringing in plenty. If you do a split, maybe perhaps a little bit, but otherwise don't. And another thing I was going to talk about here is underneath your hives, keep them mowed down as much as possible. Keep that weed eater down to the bare grass, down to the bare soil. Try to keep that soil exposed as much as possible. The sun will come in, heat it up, harden it up, and it makes it harder for hive beetles to come in. And then another thing to do is what I do. I take a pump sprayer, one that's never had chemicals in it or pesticides, and I buy pool salt. It's about $6 a bag at Walmart, and put about 3 or 4 cups into that 2-gallon sprayer. Mix it up real good. Spray that underneath your beehive, under your stands, and not only will that help kill the weeds off, it'll make it harder that the larva from the beetles doesn't like that salt concentrate. So it'll help them a little bit. Hive beetles have been horrible this year. I'm not gonna fib or pretend we don't have problems, because I'm telling you how it is. It just, they are a problem this year. It's a flat out war. And we're getting through and getting by, but that's what you gotta do. You gotta keep an eye on, you gotta keep on fighting. There's certain things, keep your traps in there, your beetle traps, your oil beetle blasters on top. Go through your hive, dig out their little burrows that they take the everything, the pollen and the wax, and they'll burrow underneath of it, and they lay their eggs, and it's like a little webby material. And yes, they do have somewhat of a little webby material, just like wax moths do. Very tiny. If you pull it apart, you can see it, and the hive beetles will fall out and the larva falls out. So it's most definitely hive beetles. And keep that dug out, smash as many as you can, and you just got to stay on top of them. You'll win the war. You gotta fight. You gotta fight them. Bees have a hard time at this stage of the world, because it's not like it used to be. It used to be there was no mites, there was no hive beetles. The bees were hunky-dory. They would just, it was very common for people to go out in the woods and find lots of beehives, but you just don't find them. And so we need as many beekeepers as possible. That's the biggest reason I'm doing these videos, is to keep people going and keep them beekeeping We need as many beekeepers as possible. Keep your bees healthy, put a little bit of time and effort in them, do some research, and you'll get through and you'll love the bees. It's a really, really fun hobby with us. It's become more than a hobby. We're commercial beekeepers, and so we sell a lot of nukes, packages, queens, equipment, such. So it just depends what level you want at. You know, you can have 3 or 4 hives, or you can have 3,000 or 4,000 hives. It just depends what you want to do with them. But I just wanted to I wanted to put that video out to people to be observant with your bees. Watch and see what they're doing. Keep an eye on them. Check and see if you got brood honey, pollen inside your frames. And you can see right here, in this time of year, there's going to be some robin. Keep your, I've honestly, and people argue this, but I'm just telling you from experience, I'm telling you straight up. Hive top feeders, if you put them in your hive right now, you're going to be fighting against robin quite a bit. But that's why we like to open feed at a distance away from the hive. And it makes a world of difference, I tell you. I don't come out here and these hives are robbed out. You can see a little bit of, right there when I first come up here, you can see just a little bit of fighting right there. But they control it. You know, you keep your entrances reduced, small. If you have feed, I know this by experience, folks. I'm just telling you how it is. A lot of people argue and say, well, you know, feed them at night. That don't make any difference. I mean, you don't think those bees can smell that sugar water the next day? That makes no difference. You put feed in this top feeder right here. You know, we got vent holes. We got ventilation. Even if it didn't have ventilation, bees are, they're pretty good smellers. They're like a bear. They can smell anything. They know there's sugar water in there. They don't have to think there's some in there. They know there is. So it causes a robin situation because we're in the dearth. Now, I'll do a video on this later on. I've noticed a lot of goldenrod, not a lot, let me rephrase that, a little bit starting to pop up. And a lot of it's not, it's not come to a bloom yet. It's up, but it won't be very long. It will be. Now down there where our stand is, I'm just now refilling my feeders. I got to carry those down and put them on the stand. But that's about, I never did personally measure it, but I'm guessing 200 feet. Around about 200, 250 foot away. So it's a safe distance because I don't have any problems with robin. So it's doing very well as far as that goes. So keep an eye on your bees. Check them often. Put a little bit of time and effort in. You know, it only takes a couple minutes to come down in the morning before work and look at them, see what they're doing. And in the evening, on your days off, just make 2 or 3 trips down, walk around your bee yard, and look and see how they're doing. And that's about it. It's as simple as that. You can tell what they're doing, whether you need to feed them a little bit, give them a little bit of pollen. They're very active, and I've not even put the feed out, so there might actually be a little bit of goldenrod right there as a prime enemy of queens right here. I did a video on that. See that dragonfly right there that he just took off? They love bees, and they don't like them for a hobby. I just wanted to put that out there. Please like and subscribe. Please share my videos to as many beekeepers as you can. We're trying to help out everybody and everybody get into beekeeping. If you know anybody interested in beekeeping, get them started, help them out, turn them on to some of these videos, let them watch them. And please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.